Welcome everyone to the first episode of Let's Chat Board Games, the series, my new series, where I will be talking about board games and specifically the ones that are my favorites and the ones that I think you should definitely try and hand down to play or even own. And I want to start off by saying that I absolutely love board games. I could spend entire nights learning the rules of new board games and actually playing them. Because I think that every game, there's so many games out there, and there's so many that can offer you a different experience. There's different rules, there's different designs, there's different illustrations, there's so many things, different themes, more importantly, different narratives as well, which is, we started with narrative design here, right? So we have to mention that. I actually do take a lot of inspiration from board games, so I think that some of them are really worth checking out. So we're starting off today with the Big Book of Madness. I got it. So the Big Book of Madness is a 2 to 5 players game, and it says on the box that it takes about 60 to 90 minutes, but I would say that as soon as you learn it, it can actually go way faster. It is a cooperative game, and the theme revolves around some students that basically entered a forbidden library and they opened the Big Book of Madness. And what they didn't know is that the Big Book of Madness is basically a book that is used to trap a whole bunch of different monsters, entities that are dangerous. Well, they're monsters. Anyway, the students are not prepared for the situation. They have to do what they can, learn the elements, understand the elements, learn as many spells as they can from the books around them in the library, and basically fight off the monsters before they go mad. They all play together. It's a cooperative game, and you basically take cards. There's a lot of deck building in the game, and you use the cards to basically dispel all of the curses that the monsters put in front of them. You flip the pages on the book. There's an actual book that you build with certain monster cards, and you flip them to see what happens. And throughout the game, you cooperate with your friends, with the other players, to try and solve the curses. Now, this seems way, way easier than what it actually is, to be honest. And the spells actually bring in this fantastic kind of element into the game that kind of mixes it up. It's not just about playing the right colors and playing all these things. And there's also the effect that you can actually put your element cards around on your player board. And before I move any further, I do want to show you some of the art. There is some fantastic art in this game, and I really think it's worth checking out. Actually, Yellow, the company that publishes this game, is actually really, really known for doing fantastic art on everything that they make. So these are some of the monsters, for example, which are all absolutely fantastic looking. And these are some of the students that you get to play, which are also really, really cool looking. Let me do it right. Should be like this. Yeah. I'm failing. There you go. Anyway, so the art is fantastic. The components are stellar. Yellow does a fantastic job with component stuff in their board games. But generally, the reason why I'm suggesting this game, because this is why we're here, this is not an actual review or anything like that. It's more like Kelf suggests, this for this and this reason. It's because I think it's one of those games that you really want to have in your library, because you can pull it out and just play a cooperative game. It is very simple. It is very fun. You all have to work together to understand what's going on. Even if you decide not to share, I don't remember what the rulebook says. I think it says that you shouldn't share what you have in your hand. It is still hidden. But even if you do decide to share, if you have the kind of group that actually really enjoys playing cooperative games and kind of working together to solve puzzles, then you will have a blast with this. If you have the kind of group where one person takes over and kind of controls the situation, tries to solve the puzzle for everyone else, then don't play this. This is definitely not the game that you want to play if you have that kind of person in your group. We played it with a person like that in our group, and we did not enjoy it a lot. But I have played it with 3 and 5 players, actually, with people that do enjoy these kinds of games. And we had a blast. And we tried with the expansion as well, which is also really fun. It adds another element. And yeah, generally the monsters, because of the way that the book is created, the back of each monster has different rules. So when it gets flipped, the back of the other monster is still there. So it adds an effect or reward to the monster that you're currently fighting. So each game is a little bit different. It mixes up a lot. It has a lot of replayability. And the theme does come through, even though it is a lot about deck building and just chatting with your friends and saying oh, hey, I do have these two leaves or these 2 fire or something. Then it's still very thematic because of the art. The art kind of brings the theme out. Also, the fact that you take madness cards every time, something bad happens, or some curses actually say if you don't manage to solve this, if it gets to that point, the timer gets to that point, then you get madness cards and your deck starts filling up with madness. The moment you have all madness cards in your hand, you're completely eliminated. We haven't had that happen, but then again, we didn't play it on hard difficulty yet, and it does get more and more fun as you play more and more. And I would suggest, like, if you play normal, then play hard to actually get more fun out of it. Otherwise, it's gonna be way too simple. But anyway, that's more or less Big Book of Madness. I want to keep this video short, so I will just say this and leave it there. I will leave a link below to the BGG entry for this game if you want to check it out, a little bit more in depth. And that's it for today. That's my suggestion for this week, the Big Book of Madness. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoyed my little video. As always, you can find me as Kelfasil on all my social media. You can support me on Patreon. Please do like and subscribe this video because it really, really helps. I'm looking forward to seeing any of your comments. I'll try to answer as many as possible. And I will see you next time. May Starlight guide your way, my friends. Bye-bye!